Let me now move on to the other big story, which is a sessions court in Gujarat dismissed today Rahul Gandhi's plea to put a stay on his conviction in the defamation case. That means that he remains disqualified as a member of parliament. Is he likely to miss the boat for 2024? Because if he's not able to get a stay on his conviction, then it means he cannot contest elections for the next 8 years at least.
Rahul Gandhi remains disqualified as a member of parliament for now. A sessions court in Gujarat, Surat, rejected to put on hold his conviction in a defamation case. Rahul Gandhi had requested that his conviction be paused pending his appeal against a court order sentencing him to 2 years in jail in the defamation case. He had argued that the trial court treated him harshly after being overwhelmingly influenced by his status as an MP.
ये जो गलत कारणों से गलत कानूनी आधार पर दो निर्णय आए हैं उनको चुनौती दी जाएगी और हमें आशा और विश्वास है कि जल्द से जल्द ये सही की जाएगी, गलती को ठीक किया जाएगा न्यायिक कानूनी रूप से.
The case is based on a complaint filed by BJP leader Purnesh Modi, based on a speech that Rahul Gandhi gave in Karnataka's Kolar in 2019. The complainant claimed that Rahul Gandhi had defamed all people whose surname is Modi after this remark.
नीरव मोदी, ललित मोदी, नरेंद्र मोदी, इन सबके नाम मोदी 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 कैसे? ये सब चोरों के नाम मोदी 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 मोदी.
The BJP called the court order a slap in the face for the Gandhis.
अब जब सूरत के अपीलिएट कोर्ट का जजमेंट आया है, उसका वर्डिक्ट आया है, पूरे देश में खुशी का माहौल है. This is a, I would say, slap on the face of the arrogance of the Gandhi family.
Rahul Gandhi's conviction and disqualification triggered Congress's rivals like the Aam Aadmi Party, Trinamool Congress and Bharat Rashtra Samiti to openly speak out in his support. After being found guilty, Gandhi was sentenced to 2 years in prison. 2 years is the maximum sentence a lawmaker must face in order to be dismissed from parliament, and also the maximum sentence under the defamation law. The disqualification is for 6 years. If you put that together, that's 8 years that Rahul Gandhi won't be able to contest elections. So is he out of the 2024 race?
All right, I want to first go across to Member of Parliament and one of the chief legal eagles of the Congress party, Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, is joining us. Dr. Singhvi, first things first, this is what the court said today, the Sessions Court, as it rejected Mr. Rahul Gandhi's appeal. It said, and I quote, you cannot dispute the fact that the appellant was a member of parliament, president of the second largest party. Looking at the appellant's stature, he should have been more careful. Any defamatory words are sufficient enough to cause mental agony. Surely, the court is also of the view that Rahul Gandhi, for the position that he occupies, should not have indulged in this kind of defamatory comments. And that's why your appeal has been rejected.
Zaka, that is one of the many clear patent errors and unsustainability of the judgment, which will be shortly challenged in the High Court. Is it a valid reason that irrespective of the balance of convenience, irrespective of the consequences which will flow if you don't stay conviction, you will go on a test that you are a leader of a political party? Is that relevant in any manner? Today we are not hearing the appeal. Today what he was hearing was whether a stay of conviction is warranted or not.
Yeah.
Tell me which is a simpler case, a lesser case, where a stay of conviction can be granted. Is it a murder charge he was facing? Was he facing a Prevention of Corruption Act charge? You have granted stay of conviction in several murder cases, including Sidhu's case, which is quoted in page 3 or 4 of that judgment. You have granted stay of conviction in Prevention of Corruption cases, which is quoted in Sareen's case, quoted in that judgment which you are holding in your hand. If you see the first 7 pages of the judgment, they are simply quotations and extracts from 10 Supreme Court judgments, with certain parts underlined, saying why you should not grant a stay of conviction. Unfortunately, the judge fails to realize, the learned judge fails to realize that the underlined portions, in fact, underline the stark contrast of those cases which he's citing and Rahul Gandhi's case. That point is missed altogether. Really speaking, the simplest case ever where it is the mildest form of a case where he should be granted a stay of conviction can be defamation. Point number two, there are cases cited in those same first 7 pages that say that you must show the consequences and demonstrate the irreversible consequences if I don't grant you stay of conviction. He has cited those cases, underline the lines. I want to ask you, what other consequence will you show, Zaka, other than the fact that a duly elected member of parliament, while your first appeal is pending, you're not a convict. Ultimately, you're a convict by one court, that to a magistrate's court, your appeal is pending. Till such time, what is the balance of convenience? Suppose he wins this appeal, which is pending before the same judge. Can you give him back those 10 days or 12 days of the last session which he missed? Can you give him back the whole monsoon session which he may miss? So irreversible prejudice is the test which the judge is quoting himself.
No, but
he's not realizing that there is no other way of showing irreversible prejudice than a disqualification.
Can I just quote one second, Dr. Singhvi? Can I quote what the judge has said in his order today? What the judges have said in their order today? There should be a rare and exceptional case made out which the defence has failed to do for a grant of stay. And the portion that you are referring to, the defence failed in demonstrating that by not staying the conviction, irreversible damage has been caused to their client. Now, my question is, what is the irreversible damage? I'm presuming that the judges are saying irreversible damage means a case of life and death. It's not like Rahul Gandhi's life or has been thrown into question because the conviction has not been stayed.
Dhaka, you are misunderstanding the test. The test is not life and death. This provision, which the learned judge is interpreting, is created specifically for public life persons who, absent a stay of conviction, will be disqualified from holding that seat.
Yes.
He can seek nothing more than a stay of disqualification because the consequences are A, you can't attend parliament, B, you lose your seat, C, if time goes on, the election commission is entitled to re-notify election. D, it will thrust upon the people of India the cost of an election. And after 10 days of that, or 3 months of that, if Rahul Gandhi wins his case, if he succeeds in his appeal,
but can you demonstrate, Dr. Singhvi, that this is irreversible damage? How is this irreversible damage? That's what the court is asking.
It is irreversible because while his first appeal is pending, for a short while, the simplest way is to expedite the appeal and to give a stay of his disqualification. Why should you have a fresh election there? Why? Suppose you have a fresh election, this term of Rahul Gandhi goes, it's irreversible.
Okay, the court is also saying that the appellant has not made any case to suspend the conviction recorded against him, and the avenues are open to challenge the judgment given by the lower court. The appeal is pending. The court is also citing that. So, again, I come back to that point. You have further legal recourses available to you. Why do you need a stay of conviction?
It's amazing. The stay of conviction is only sought when the appeal is pending. When else is it sought? When else will it be sought? The stay of conviction is sought precisely because the appeal is pending. I may win my appeal tomorrow. Till then, don't disqualify me. I mean, it's turning the whole thing on its head, and just see the 3rd or 4th page of the judgment you are holding. Do you have the judgment in your hand? Does it cite Navjot Sidhu?
Yes. Yes.
Did Navjot Sidhu get a stay of conviction after having been accused of murder? M-U-R-D-E-R. See the first case before that on the 2nd or 3rd page. It's a Sareen's case. See the last paragraph of that, underlined by the learned judge. It is a case of corruption, Prevention of Corruption Act conviction.
Okay.
Now, you may, even in those cases, stay is granted. Why will stay not be granted in defamation case while the main appeal is pending?
All right.
Tomorrow, can you restore the lost portion of last session? Will you restore the next lost portion of the monsoon session? Will you restore the seat in case the election commission announces the election? All are irreversible. Completely irreversible.
Okay.
On the face of it.
We'll leave it at that, Dr. Singhvi. We'll see how this plays out. Of course, Dr. Singhvi has said that they will be moving the High Court to try and grant relief to Rahul Gandhi. by way of stay of conviction. Let me open this also up to our panelists who are joining us, and I want to take this into the political realm. Nalin Kohli, spokesperson of the BJP, is joining us, and Advocate Mahima Singh, spokesperson of the Congress, is joining us. Nalin, we've dealt with the legalese. I want to talk politics. Here you have, and the Congress party, the entire Congress machinery is going into overdrive to portray Rahul Gandhi as a victim of a system that is out to get him, a system that they are calling high-handed, a system that they believe is out to crush all democratic forces, vilify opposition, agencies are unleashed on opposition politicians, so on and so forth. And we're already seeing, that narrative in full flow in the Karnataka elections. Are you not worried politically that if the entire opposition is banding together and setting this narrative, this could hurt your party?
I completely disagree with the political narrative of the Congress party, and as a practicing lawyer, I equally disagree with the legal narrative that they are putting out there. And I'll address both of them together. Why has Mr. Rahul Gandhi faced a conviction? Because he came out with an unsavory remark in 2019 saying, why do people with the surname Modi, why are they all thieves? That is the reason why he has a conviction of 2 years in a defamation case. He apologized before the Supreme Court in 2018. In 2019, he commits the same thing. So if Mr. Rahul Gandhi was a little more careful with his words, had he apologized, which even today he hasn't, he today still stands by his statement by saying, I'm not a Savarkar who will apologize. That means he believes that his statement is correct and good. He says this is a fight for truth. Abusing all people with a Modi surname who are from the OBC community is a fight for truth, is a fight in national interest, as the Congress calls it. Now let's understand the legal part, which is also a narrative.
Can I ask one counter question? It's a political point. Yeah, Nalin, give me 1 second. Can I ask one counter question? The Congress's argument is also that nowhere in those comments in Kolar, Mr. Gandhi refers to 3 Modis by name: Narendra Modi, Lalit Modi, and Nirav Modi. None of the Modis who he has referred to by name are party to this case. This is a completely unrelated person who he did not name coming and filing the case, and there's a conviction of defamation on that case.
So that two answers to that, and it's not complicated. I'll disagree with that too, both as a lawyer and as a political person. The first is, he says, ye Modi naam wale sare log chor kyun hote hain? That means he extended the scope of that. He didn't say ye teeno Modi chor kyun hote hain, which would have been then restricting it, because he couldn't dare have said it. He would have sued by all 3 of them. So he then went by expanding it by saying ye sare Modi surname wale chor kyun hote hain? Play the bite. And the second part of this is, that is why you have abused the community. And even today he is not apologizing to the community. And what does he want? A reward? A Bharat Ratna for coming up with a statement like this? Now let me come to the political argument, which is equally incorrect, legally and politically. Let's understand why is Mr. Dr. Singhvi is trying to say, Arey, he will tomorrow maybe be let off. This was the whole idea of Dr. Manmohan Singh's ordinance in 2013, when the Lily Thomas case led to the removal of section 8(4), which is what it gave a convicted political person, an MP or an MLA, a 3-month window. The Supreme Court removes it. Dr. Manmohan Singh and the then law minister, Mr. Kapil Sibal, bring an ordinance which Mr. Rahul Gandhi, uninvited to his own party's press conference, barges in, tears it and says it should go in the dustbin. So today, why should the law be different for him? 32 or 33 people have faced the same consequence. So now Dr. Singhvi or his legal team finds it convenient to say, no, suppose he is reversed. That is what section 8(4) was. That is what the ordinance was supposed to be. So Rahul Gandhi ji, respectfully, is paying the consequences of his intemperate comments and his intemperate action.
Okay, so
and why should the rest of the country
let me ask
Mahima stand up and say that the BJP should be blamed?
On the one hand, you are claiming political victimhood. You are saying sympathy factor. But how can anyone have sympathy for someone who, as Nalin says, barges into a press conference, tears up an ordinance that was brought for exactly purposes such as this, that politicians, legislators, parliamentarians are not held guilty for defamation, and thereby the consequence of that, losing membership of the legislature or the parliament, does not befall them. That's why that clause was introduced. So what has cost Mr. Gandhi is his own hubris and his own exuberance. So why are you now trying to play victim?
मैं रोशनी था मुझे फैलते ही जाना था वो बुझ गए जो चिराग समझते रहे मुझे. That is the story of truth, Zaka, and I think my leader Shri Rahul Gandhi embodies that truth. And even when he acted in 2013, the action in question, and even when he is acting today, I think he's acting for the truth that he believes in. He's acting for the righteousness that our constitution stands for. He's acting for all those guarantees that the democracy brings along. What has happened today is just a stage, Zaka. You see, first appeal is a stage in a legal battle. It's not the stage. So the BJP may rejoice, as one of the chief spokespersons, Mr. Patra, has held a press conference this evening and has said that desh mein khushi ka mahal hai, which I don't think we have seen any glimpses of anywhere, because the country today is agonized, not only with the inflation and unemployment record at a record levels, but also, after Satyapal Malik ji's revelations, the country is today in absolutely, in an absolute shock, because we are hoping for answers. Instead, what's happening today is, we are debating around an issue where Rahul Gandhi ji is in, it's a process, an ongoing process.
Ma'am, can I ask one question? As a lawyer, you are well aware of these defamation cases. Usually, these are quashed at the preliminary stage itself, or if it gets into trial and so on, the person concerned comes and apologizes. We've seen n number of cases, including in the case of Mr. Gandhi himself, who has in a previous defamation case apologized. Now, my question is, why was that not done in this case? And why is that not being done even now? All it takes to say is that I was referring to specific individuals, not to a larger community. Why is there no expression of regret for words that were, ill-used?
On that, Zaka, I would like to remind you of Ms. Khushbu Sundar's very similar remarks, back in 2019. And let me just say, although Mr. Singhvi has, being the veteran that he is, touched upon most of the, relevant parts of this judgment and the grounds, the very sustainable grounds that we'll be relying upon while we invoke the constitutional powers of the appellate courts. Let me just say that, the BJP spokesperson, with due respect, I say that he just talked about RG's that statement, and he urged you to play it out. Please do play it out, because that will immediately prove my case, because he said, उन्होंने कहा सारे मोदी चोर होते हैं. Sorry, his remark was, इन सारे चोरों का नाम मोदी क्यों है? I think he is referring and indicating towards the political favoritism that we have seen in the past 8 years at behest of our very honorable Prime Minister, who stands there as a leader of all of us, of the entire population. I may not have voted for him, but he still is my Prime Minister.
Okay.
So I believe when Rahul Gandhi ji said that from the very Kolar, where he has couple of days back invoked the government.
No. So I want to be very clear about this. You are saying he did not say सारे Modi चोर हैं. He simply said ये सारे चोर के नाम.
चोरों मोदी क्यों हैं? और ढूंढने निकलेंगे तो और भी मिल जाएंगे. That's what he said. And that clearly indicates that Prime Minister Modi's government has given undue privilege.
All the more reason why your case in court should have been that you are not trying to defame an entire community, which has the surname Modi.
Not, which is a clear case. You see, Mr. Singhvi has pointed out to the 3 paragraphs in today's verdict, where the judge's contention is, where the judge's point is that the insult is hurled at Mr. Modi, the Prime Minister. And then the complainant should have been the Prime Minister or one of the...
I got to wrap up. I'm completely out of time. It's a truncated debate tonight because of the big story that came in from Poonch. But thank you very much both to Nadan Kohli as well as to Mahima Singh. We'll see how this plays out. Like I said, it'll play out in the court of law, which of course is the legal process that was outlined by the lawyers on the panel. And then of course there is the court of public opinion, where in Karnataka you will see the first big political sort of fallout of these comments and this entire saga surrounding Rahul Gandhi. Talking about Karnataka, we'll round